Wednesday, August the 3rd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot of heat across parts of the country again today. The core of the heat back in the Plains states. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But a hot day here across the Carolinas. In fact, a lot of near record high temperatures coming up this afternoon. But some changes ahead, and maybe a big pattern change next week. I'll talk about that. Plus Emily, as today's edition of the video unfolds. Here's the heat-related products, all of those peach-shaded counties covering a good chunk of the southern plains, the lower Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley, and even stretching into a good chunk of South Carolina and coastal parts of North Carolina for today. These are the actual air temperatures right now, and you're looking at a temperature as I'm cutting this video, so a 4 a.m. Central Time temperature in Tulsa of 94. Dallas-Fort Worth is still at 92. You're looking at Wichita Falls at 90, so when you're looking at 90s for temperatures at 4 a.m., you know it is just really a crippling type of heat wave that is underway. And here's our dew point temperatures. Pretty muggy. A lot of 70 to 75 degree dew points from the Gulf Coast up the Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley, and that is, of course, just fueling I guess the nature of the heat. It's not a dry heat in those areas that I mentioned. It's a very muggy, oppressive type of heat, especially when you get into Missouri and Arkansas, down toward central and eastern Texas and Louisiana, Mississippi. Now for the Carolinas, we've had some pretty low afternoon dew points the past couple of days. I think that'll generally be the case again today, but some changes coming up. Notice some showers and thunderstorms here this morning from Indiana into Ohio. That complex is dropping southeast, and I do think we have a chance in the foothills, the mountains, the Piedmont of seeing a few mainly evening showers and storms. Could be afternoon in the mountains, and we do have a day one slight risk covering a good chunk of Tennessee, Kentucky, into the mountains, and up into much of the Virginias, into parts of the Delmarva Peninsula as well. And that would, again, for the North Carolina mountains would be this afternoon into this evening, and for the foothills and the Piedmont, I think mainly this evening when we'll see a few showers and storms dropping in. There's the core of the heat ridge today, centered over Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Now, as we go forward in time, here we are by Monday of next week. I do see some signs of a wholesale pattern change. This is Monday, and here we are out at Thursday of next week. It looks like the core of the heat will shift into the Rockies and the desert Southwest. And in the meantime, a trough will try to dig out in the eastern part of the country. Now, that's the operational European model I showed you. Let's go to the ensemble. And this is out at next Tuesday. And again, you're looking at that core of the ridging shifting into the western part of the country and some troughing taking shape over at least the eastern third of the country. And if this does indeed occur, certainly the significant levels of oppressive heat would try to shift into the western half of the country. And you'd be looking at some cooler weather overall for the eastern half of the country. And I know that is a welcome thought for many folks that are dealing with this heat. And we'll see if the cooler air can make it into the plains. That'll kind of be the battleground region. All right, here you go today. We're looking at a lot of heat across our region. Piedmont highs, upper 90s to low 100s. And then this evening, there is the chance of a few of those showers and thunderstorms drifting in. Now, tomorrow, the front begins to stall out. So a few isolated thunderstorms a possibility tomorrow, and then as some more upper-level energy gets involved, it looks like a pretty good chance there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms around. And then as we get into next week, it looks like we'll see one cold front move through by Monday, and then let's go out here toward the end of next week. This is Friday evening. That's a nice Canadian high pressure settling into the eastern part of the country. That'd be a pretty nice air mass if indeed that does come to fruition. Now let's shift gears, talk about the tropics. There's Emily, actually looking relatively healthy. The outflow looks pretty good this morning. Here's Puerto Rico, and so the center of Emily's a little bit south of Puerto Rico. Now, in terms of where the system is headed, there's the spread of computer model guidance here, and you still have some solutions into the Gulf. Most of the solutions, though, are up through the Bahamas and just off the southeast coast. In terms of intensity, that is what the models are showing. You're going to see some short-term weakening tonight into tomorrow as this interacts with Hispaniola, but thereafter, there's the chance that this could try to strengthen, and some of the modeling does still take this up to hurricane intensity. I did not include the actual Hurricane Center forecast. I meant to stick that in there, but I'll kind of draw you what they have for their formal forecast, something basically like that. kind of down the middle of a lot of the model guidance. Let me show you some of the select model guidance here. This is the GFDL model, and it brings the system as a minor hurricane by the time it gets to the northern Bahamas, and then its closest pass to the Carolina coast is probably 100 or so miles offshore. Let's go to the Hurricane Wharf, and it tucks it in pretty close to the coast of North Florida, and then it actually makes a landfall there near Charleston before pushing it back out to sea. That's one of the further west models. So basically, the most likely scenario here is that the center of Emily probably stays just off the Carolina coast. But this is probably going to be one of those systems that is not going to be able to really ramp up into a really strong tropical system. So it probably is one of those deals where coastal parts of the Carolinas probably actually would prefer a landfall. It's still very, very dry. The drought continuing. They could use all the rain they can get. So hopefully the system will pass close enough to give those areas that need rain so badly at least some rain. So we'll keep tracking it. These tropical systems always have some surprises up their sleeves, it seems. So we'll keep tracking it and watch how things unfold. But in the short term, again, tonight it'll be interacting with Hispaniola. All right, that is it for today. Have a great day on this Wednesday, and God bless.